So Georgia, Sisters of the Poor, School of Honors, you call it, 56-7. It's senior day. Takeaways I had is Stetson Bennett look a little rusty coming out. We just basically ran it down your throat. We had several guys getting touchdowns. Zamir got a touchdown. James Cook, who's coming into his own. I think he's going to be really dangerous in the Alabama game, maybe like an X factor. We did get Don Blaylock. It was on special teams. We've been waiting for him. But all in all, just a beat down. Jordan Davis, great kid. They gave him two rushing attempts from the one he finally got in. That's a great story. He directed the band after it. Just DGD, as we call him, damn good dog. We'll always remember him. Great for the school. I wish they would give him a Heisman push, being on the defensive line. But just, complete beat down, 56-7. They were outmanned. Probably one of the weirdest 7 points they got. Our guy, I think it was Xavier Sorey, got a pick around the 30, and then the wide receiver stripped it and ran it all the way back. So anyway, 56-7, definitely was good. Good win. No injuries, which was great. JT Daniels did get in. He still looked a little rusty. So I still think this is the mailman Bennett's team going down the stretch. But, good win. And then we're moving along to good old-fashioned hate, as they call it.
Whoa, come on now.
What's that?
Oh, did you fucking wake up?
Oh, there he is.
No, like I was trying to say earlier. I was trying to say, first of all, Ohio State, that's like 56-7. I'm honestly going to go with. I just don't. Michigan's never really showed up in big games.
56-7?
Yeah, 56-7.
Did you see any of the stats I just shared to give a good argument?
Yeah, again, I hear you, but like Michigan never really seems to show up in any of these big games. They're the same team that lost to Michigan State.
Yeah.
Who's,
three scores. Yeah, I agree.
Has been less than impressive. So to me, like, I can only see the game being like worse than the Michigan State game.
Jeez, I think if he 56-7, he might be on the smoking hot seat. That'd be, I don't know. Mine was 35-24. They'll cover, but I like it tight. If you didn't hear
now,
that.
Sean, when you say they haven't showed up in these big games, that's only been for the last 20 years.
Yes, 17-2.
Well,
yeah.
You go back to the late 90s, man.
Machine and bring back the 1997 Wolverines, and like
there you go, man. It's funny when I come across some assholes every now and then. They'll be like, "Oh, we took care of you in the 90s." I'm like, "Have you been fucking asleep the last 20 years of our domination? Where the fuck have you been?"
Yep.
Bringing like in the 90s, even during the 90s when we lost, Ohio State lost 3 times, 93, 95, 96, undefeated going into that game, and then Michigan won. And the thing is, they were in our heads because I would say maybe one of those 3 teams, Michigan was actually the better team. But Ohio State still had some wins during that time, and I think a tie. So it's been a decade since they won. So, that was against Ohio State's worst team. That Ohio State team that was coached by Luke Fickell didn't even have a winning record at the end of the year. They went 6-7. So, anyways, that just a little bit more history, the more you know. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
but Sean, I think you fell asleep there for a second. Did you have anything else to say about that game, or do you want to get into Georgia's big time matchup?
Honestly, let's go ahead and speed bump past, Charleston Southern.
You don't want to give an extensive. You don't want to give an extensive.
The coaching. I like the fact that we got JT Daniels out there and got him some reps. I didn't like the fact that I don't feel like we really gave enough meaningful reps to anybody else.
Yeah.
On in the quarterback rotation, but that's been Kirby's thing all year.
Yeah.
So I actually want to speed bump past Georgia Tech because it's Georgia Tech. We're going to thump them.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that. So good old-fashioned Nate didn't play last year because of all SEC. It's 30.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. We're going to beat you 55-7,
Actually, Notre Dame beat them 55.
You should actually storm the field if you score 13.
This is at Atlanta. We'll give a quick pick real quick for 35 points. Do they cover? What's your pick? And what would you like?
To me, like it's probably like 42-3, 42-7, something like that. I think that's probably spot on.
What would you like to see again?
No injuries, I think, is the biggest thing. And I think you probably like to see you want to see JT Daniels, just see him get some reps. Hopefully it's more than 10 or whatever, and execute. And I think you want to see the quarterbacks just be a little bit sharper going into Bama. But You know, beyond that, I don't know how much of a barometer you're going to get. I mean,
what about a barometer?
Georgia Tech's at like Vanderbilt level, so it's just
yeah, they are. They're disappointing. That Jeff
at the end of the day, right? It's kind of different levels on these games. The first one is obviously you don't want to lose. Yeah. You know, beyond that, you don't want to see your team rolling around in like a death match, like with a crocodile of a loser, right?
Yeah.
Then from there, it's just, you know, you want to see them take business. And then the highest levels, you want to see them take business and then just make smart decisions with, you know, once the game's out of reach. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I mean, we're going to need to, you know, I don't think anybody's prepared to say that's at some point we're not going to need JT Daniels to play some meaningfully going forward. So let's go there and let's focus on Bama and the SEC title games. You know,
I mean, I agree with
boring. It's boring. We shouldn't even play them anymore.
One other thing I wanted to ask Sean, because that's the big thing, because he was in warm-ups last week, is do we see a little glimpse of Pickens, and do you like put him in for a series or two? Just take one.
I don't think you do. I mean, because he was in a non-contact jersey today. So I mean, I think that the fact that he was in the jersey, it was senior day, right? And so even though he's not a senior, it's probably his last day to actually suit up at home.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why I mean, I guess he's been like suiting up regardless, but
this year, is he done or is he just getting ready for the draft?
I mean, I think if you may see him in the playoffs. Like, I just don't know. I mean, you'd like to maybe see, you know, some level of reps at some point, or at least just say, hey, he's actually legitimately taking reps with the number ones or the number threes or whatever. But he's just kind of going through basic conditioning drills or whatever. I mean, he's still a long ways off to me.
Yeah.
Now here's my question for you. So what's the spread? Is it 35 points with the Georgia Tech game?
That's correct.
I almost feel like that's insulting, though. I mean, Georgia Tech is so bad.
Yeah.
What? Is this insulting because it should be higher?
For sure, it should be higher.
Yeah, but I mean, they're a Power 5 team, and they're better than that Charleston Southern team. But them getting blanked by Notre Dame 55-0 shows they got
just how bad they are. Well, so here's my question: when's the last time the Georgia Tech? Can you bring up the record? When's the last time Georgia Tech beat Georgia?
Actually, 2016 when they ran the triple option. See, this used to be kind of a scary game because you know that whole triple option.
You never see it. Who's the head coach now? Because wasn't that Paul Johnson?
Yeah, that's Paul Johnson. They got Jeff Collins now, and he's struggled recently. He's kind of brought basically just spread power ups.
And we'll get in more to Georgia and Bama next week when we get into the other championship games, but we'll kind of talk about some other stuff that's happening in college football. But the thing I was saying is, look, man, this is maybe a little higher version of Charleston Southern.
It is.
And look, I mean, you ready for this, Sean? Here's the declaration. Kirby Smarts loses this game, he should fucking get fired.
Yeah, agreed.
Wow.
I mean, the only thing that I would say is here's what Georgia has going for it. And I'm not trying to bring everything back to Ohio State, even though they have the big game coming up. At least you have a backup that you feel slightly confident in. In fact, you think your backup should be starting. If Stetson Bettis goes down, then JT Daniels is there. And I don't know who's behind him. What we saw in the second half of the Ohio State-Michigan State game, we were up so much, well, hey, we'll go ahead and play our backup, Kyle McCord. Now, he's a true freshman. Now, the way the redshirt rule works is you can play in 4 games, but as soon as you play in the 5th, your redshirt's gone. Well, but, hey, I still want to go in and win a national title. We don't have Cardale Jones on Ohio State right now. we have at least C.J. Stroud is a redshirt freshman, but this is a true freshman. So his redshirt has been blown. And then they brought in Quinn Ewers, who hopefully we keep, but he got in because now you can play a couple snaps and everything. But he came in at the end. There's another kid, I think it's Jack Miller, who was the 3rd string, but he got suspended from the team because he had a DUI. So don't drive drunk, asshole. But anyways, he's back on the team. But that's
team for that. You just should have him do some laps and put a breathalyzer machine in his car.
Yeah.
There you go, man. They also got this thing called Uber, you fucking asshole. So anyways, the fact of the matter is the quarterbacks right now, C.J. Stroud from California, okay, and then you've got Kyle McCord from Pennsylvania, you've got Jack Miller from Arizona, and you got Quinn Ewers from Texas. And ain't no way all of them are coming back next year. Because to keep everybody happy, then so be it. What I don't want to have happen to Ohio State is what happened to Georgia. Hey, well, here's a guy that took you to the national title, Jake from State From, but he can't take you to that next level. But hey, he still took you to a national title. And ultimately, the guy that could have taken it to the next level, Justin Fields, leaves. So we'll see what happens with C.J. Stroud this year because it's just going to be difficult to hold on to everybody. But at least Georgia, if anything, you say, okay, Stetson, if you're still our starter, you should get plenty of reps. Not in the first half, but by the second half, y'all should be up 50-0. In that second half and get people plenty of reps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll make a quick pick. I'm gonna go 49-7. It's always hard to keep a team out of the end zone that can get a junk touchdown. But I just want to see no injuries, like Sean said, and more JT Daniels, and might see some of the wideouts. Maybe Blaylock gets some series, and God forbid they sneak Pickens in. But yeah, no injuries and get JT Daniels, same as last week.
I'm gonna give you my pick. Ready for this?
Yeah.
70-0.
Kirby's usually bad about.
Georgia will win 70-0. In case I wasn't clear.
Kirby's he calls off the dogs, and he'll put Dejon Edwards in, and we'll hand the ball off the whole second half. So it's hard, but I agree we should beat down. All right,
what are you, Sean?
I think you said.
I said
you have a pick?
I said 42-7, just because the 70-0 would be great. But here's what Kirby's going to do. Once this thing is really out of hand, he's just going to start handing the ball off and running the clock.
That's correct.